Hey guys, Scott here with Trilogy Talk, and if you have been paying attention to the social media worlds at all in the last few weeks, you will have seen that Latitude 64 has been releasing a bunch of mystery boxes. It's been pretty much going all over the place. I would almost call it an epidemic for the amount of discs and mystery boxes that have been out there. Well, one of the discs in the boxes was an unreleased disc. All the discs were part of the Opto X style plastic, but they promised an unreleased disc in there, and here we go. The SPZ1 zombie Opto X plastic. Just by the first feel, beadless, feels a lot like the pure. It's got that harder style plastic like the Opto X has, but a lot of people have been really curious to see, what does this disc do? They've heard a few reviews, have seen a few things out there with Johnny McRae videos and Emerson Keith videos, but I'm going to do a demonstration for you, and we're going to play with this disc so you can see exactly what this does. Oh yeah, one more thing. So I'm going to throw 4 shots here, just kind of in a row, and then in the video here, I'll break them apart as I tell you about each one. First one's just going to be a flat, maybe a slight hyzer, but most part a flat, probably about a 70% throw. The second one, I'm going to throw the same way as the first one, but at pretty much full power. The third one is going to be with an anhyzer. The fourth one's going to be with a hyzer. I am throwing into about a 10 to 12 mile an hour, pretty stiff headwind at the moment. So just to give you a little bit idea of what that flight is like. All right, everybody, so like I said, so this very first one you're looking at, I'm throwing until about a 10 to 12 mile an hour at least. I feel like I'm being pretty generous with it. It's still pretty stiff. You can probably hear it in the microphone, but I threw it at around 70%. A slight little hyzer, but as you can see, it ultimately is staying fairly straight. The second one is I threw it the almost identical way as the first one. Slight little angle, but I threw it at virtually full power. It went to about a 200 to 210 foot range, which is definitely not bad for a putter, but still held the line very straight, stood up. Both the first two stood up. This third one I threw on an ante. You can see I threw a little bit high, but it held the ante line a little bit, but still hyzered back out, still faded back out to the left. And this last one, I hyzered again, probably a little higher than I wanted, but it held the line. Something you should be aware of with this that I didn't even realize until I threw that fourth shot, that hyzer shot, is this is a 169 gram putter. I did not realize I was testing with one so light. So what that tells me is if I was throwing a max weight 175 gram putter, I would probably even have a little bit more stability. So considering how stable this ultimately stayed, or how much left fade, or how much it held that line in that 10 to 12 mile an hour stiff headwind, tells me even at lighter, it's holding that line. 175 grams, gonna hold it even probably better. Still gonna probably give you that left fade a little bit more for a right-hand backhand player. So let's check out what a tailwind looks like. All right, everybody, let's check out the tailwind. Because it's a tailwind, I'm going to just focus on the flat, the straight, since it's typically what we're going to want to do with the putter, and check out what that overstability is like in that 10 to 12 mile an hour tailwind now. All right, that one was a little lower than I wanted. Let's try this again. All right, guys, I like the way that one flew around 240 feet, very straight, slow, a little bit of a slow fade. Like I said, it feels a lot like a pier. That's what it's being compared to. Slightly more overstable putter. Not so overstable like a Cenis or anything like that, but probably between your standard, more like a Judge and a Cenis. But still, but it's got that flat, low profile, like if you were throwing a pier. Let's give it one more shot. All right, so that one I got to probably around the 250-ish mark, give or take. That one I threw a tad harder and a little bit higher, but that little bit of height that I gave on that flight, it gave it even more time to have that overstability. That last shot faded harder than any of the other ones I had, but by giving it that height in the tailwind, it gave it that little bit more. And I've seen people talking about comparing it to a harp. And with that flight, I would say definitely closer to a harp. So depending on, well, between like a harp and your standard, not quite as overstable still as like a harp, but still got that low profile. So if you like that low profile feel, this is a disc you're gonna like. Now, some information that might be helpful for you is I reached out to Tomas Ekstrom. He is the designer for Latitude 64. He is the one who created this. And I asked him, what is your intent? What's your thought about this disc? And he had said, the disc's designed to be stable to understable. The discs ultimately as a production run is going to become part of a beginner set, a starter set. It's designed for first-time players. In those starter sets, it's also going to probably be released in your baseline plastic, not your Opto or Opto X plastic. As of now, they do not have an intent to release this SPZ1 Zombie in premium plastic or even as a stock production disc, according to what Latitude had told me. It doesn't mean that something won't change and things won't happen later down the road, but at least their intent today is for it just to become a baseline disc inside that starter set. So if you like this premium plastic, you want this X plastic, you like the flight of this disc, make sure you find them. They're out there, they're floating around, all part of those Latitude mystery boxes. As of today, November 20th, they're still online for you to purchase. So again, if you like it, check it out. So as always, keep sharing, liking, subscribing, and contributing. And until next time, keep sharing the Trilogy love with the world. See ya.